So now we're to 2008. If you remember 2008, the end of the financial world hit right about now. Right? And now we're into 2009. Welcome to your career world. And yeah, it's starting to look like Missile Command, if you remember that game. It's not good. So, what does this tell us? That you, unfortunately, are entering into a very unpleasant career world. So that's the bad news. Several of the pieces that I'm going to be talking about today, I'm focusing specifically on the millennials, the Gen Y, specifically the 19 to 29-year-old age cohort, because that's the millennial group that's in the workforce now. I'm a Gen Xer, I'm 35, I'm just on the other side of that. I bring that up because I was a child of the 80s, which explains a lot about me, I think, good and bad. And while as a child in the 80s, I saw my friends moving away and all these transitions happening, and I kept saying, what's going on? Why does Scott have to move across the country? Well, his dad lost his job, and I thought, that doesn't really make any sense to me. As I grew up, I realized more and more what was happening to the workplace. And ever since about the 80s, the notion of corporate loyalty, career path, these notions of a long period of time spent in a given profession, your gold watch, your corporate loyalty to your professional development, those days have been dead for about 30 years. One of the key problems with what we're dealing with in the world today is that we still think, for some reason, that we have this career notion that involves someone else taking care of our career. Now, I showed you the map, and you saw Katrina, and you saw the tech industry blow up, and you saw Detroit, you saw all these places where we read the news about these economic collapses. One of my key issues is we're just thinking about the word career wrong as well. We're thinking about professionalism wrong. We're thinking about how to use our skills in the workplace incorrectly. And more importantly, the workplace doesn't know what to do with our skills. So, in the course of our little conversation this evening, my goal is to completely change your frame of mind, revolutionize your thinking, no small task. And there's a key point I want to make is I want to inform you but not inundate you. I want to give you a lot of information, pick and choose, don't feel like you have to remember it all. It all is around the same theme. And that theme can best in my mind be summed up, other than my alliteration addiction, I also love words. I'm a word nerd. So there happens to be a verb form of the word career. We use the term careen now, which is an old nautical term. Same thing, move swiftly and in an uncontrolled way in a specified direction. The car careered across the road, through the guardrail and through ravine. Now apply this to your career. It's moving fast. I hope you know where you're going, and I hope that you think that you have a lot less control than you really have. Specify your direction. I call it intentionality. Be intentional. Be intentional with what you do. Be intentional with how you live your life in all facets, but particularly around your work, because here's the secret. Now we are our careers. Every single person in this room, you are your own career. That's it. You're the person taking care of your career. You might be friends, might be mentors, might be some people around. It's up to you to take care of your career. It's up to you to develop your career, your professional development, your advancement. You're all of those things. Nobody's going to do that for you. So, I personally have followed the career route that is best described by this verb. My background is in education. I was the classroom teacher for 10 years. I should have followed the classroom teacher, JV basketball coach, varsity basketball coach, administrator, state level, whatever path educators follow, I don't even know. I didn't. I've been all over the place. And I'll talk more about that in a second. So, we rethink career. The little blurb talks about two types of career. The common term these days is portfolio careerist or /careerist. /careerist sounds a little bit like a serial killer to me, but it works for a lot of people. The idea here is that we're not just one thing. We're not just one profession. So this is my portfolio. Writer, speaker, program designer, and by that I mean go and design programs in nonprofits, not the cool code, looks like you're looking at the Matrix kind of programming. Editor, coach, and by that I mean career coach. I was never really a successful coach. Mentor, tutor, DJ, photographer, researcher, thinker, cook, cat lover, dog lover, hiker, swimmer, cyclist. Put slashes in, same kind of outcome. point here is that some of these careers of mine I have been paid to do. I have been paid to be a DJ. I've been paid to be a cook. I've never been paid to be a cat lover, but I've house sat for a friend who stocked the house full of food and beer, and I watched their dog. I think of that as a form of payment. So through my life, I've had these different roles, and I've done these different things, some paid and some unpaid. The point here is that I'm not focused on this one notion of, well, what do you do for a living?